everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ade, and if you're brand new, then of course you're most definitely welcome. And if you're returning back, then thank you so much for coming back to watch another video here on my channel. So today, guys, it's going to be something slightly different from the norm. Today I'm going to be speaking to you about fragrances that I don't really use anymore. And of course, between the time when I bought them, things have changed. I might have moved countries, I might just not be feeling them anymore. There might be certain notes in them that are just like irking me. So therefore, I just thought, do you know what? Some of these fragrances I brought to you guys when I loved it, but now I feel like my perfume taste has changed a little bit. So with that being said, I'm going to then tell you about the fragrances I don't really reach for so much anymore. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the family. You are so welcome here. And of course, if any of these fragrances are your favorites, please do not be offended. Of course, we all know that fragrances are very personal and everybody has their own individual taste. And of course, we also know that fragrances develop very differently on everyone's skin. So skin chemistry, very different. So that being said, let me start with the fragrances that I no longer really reach for. Okay, so let's start from this one. So this is the Barakat Rouge 540. And of course, as you can see, it is a dupe for the Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. Okay, so Barakat have their own version, and honestly, as you can see, this fragrance is pretty much full. Part of the reason why it's full is literally because I can't smell it. I can't smell it. And the amount of times I've thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it another try, I'm gonna give it another try. Every time I've tried it, all I smell is alcohol. It just never marinates on my skin. It just never ever marinates my skin, and I don't understand why. So many people on here absolutely love this, and also its counterpart, because of course it is a dupe for that Baccarat Rouge 540. But honestly, I can't smell it. Maybe I've literally gone nose dead, but I can't smell it. If you have this and you love it, and I think sometimes I do think, have I gotten a bad batch or a fake one? Because I did get this from Amazon, but not to say that, of course it's fake, but it just hasn't performed the way that I wanted it to. So with that being said, it's still a full bottle, and this one is the Barakat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. Okay, so we move on to the next one. And honestly, when I first got this fragrance, I did kind of like it, but then let me just tell you what fragrance it is. This is Karfi. I'm trying to remember where it's from. But anyway, this fragrance is called Karfi. Okay, I got this, I want to say probably the beginning of 2022 or midway through 2022, when I was obviously trying to get back on YouTube and also trying out new fragrances. This was really popular in its time, and I'm not going to lie to you, it is a lovely creamy smell. But I watched this is gonna make you guys, I watched a review on this fragrance, and the lady said that it smelled like hair product, and honestly, from that day I have not been able to smell it the same way. When I first smelled it, I loved it, but as soon as I watched that video and she's telling me she smells hair products, I am smelling it and literally all I smell is hair product. That blue one, the blue one that we use to moisturize the edges, a little bit greasy, that one. This is literally what it smells like to me, and I can't get it out of my mind. I know it sounds really bad, but I just can't get it out of my mind, and I don't want to walk around smelling like hair. So with that being said, this is still a very full bottle. I think I must have sprayed it 3 times before watching that review, and unfortunately I have not been able to get that thought out of my head. So with that being said, I have not used this one very much. This one is an oldie but a goldie. I brought this fragrance with me. Ugh, I've lost the cap. That's how you know that, this one has served me well for a little while. But this is called Crystal Rose by Arabian Oud. Now, you guys know that Arabian Oud is literally one of my favorite fragrance houses, and honestly, one of the first ever perfume brands that I reviewed here on YouTube. But guys, this fragrance, I just feel it just doesn't really suit the Dubai weather to me. I feel like it's too light. It doesn't project that much. It doesn't really stay that well on my skin. I've kind of thought that, if I left it to macerate for a little bit longer, that I'd be able to get a better projection from it. But no, still very light, still very, normal, nothing special. And again, please, I do say to you guys that if this is a fragrance that you absolutely love, this does work very differently in colder weather conditions than hotter weather conditions. And obviously now that I'm here in the ridiculous heat here of Dubai, this fragrance is just not cutting it anymore. I'm so sorry. But with that being said, yeah, I've just literally, you know, had to give this one a rest. As you can see, it was one of my favorites before. I did use a lot of it, but as time went on, I just realized me and Crystal Rose are just no more. So I don't use this one that much anymore. Okay. Oh, this one, you guys are probably gonna hate me a little bit, but again, everyone, different strokes for different folks, okay? And this is not to say that I didn't like it or that I don't like it. I just don't really reach for it that much. And I think, again, my fragrance taste has changed dramatically in the last, I want to say in the last 6 months at the very least. I just love something that's a little bit more pungent. I love stuff that's a little bit more woody, a little bit more depthy, that just makes a bit more of a statement. To be fair, I've always loved that, but even more so. So I kind of lean more towards the even stronger fragrances. And I just don't feel like these are really cutting it anymore. So, or maybe just not cutting it for this weather. That's all I'm saying. But the first one is Bright Peach, okay? Bright Peach by Maison Alhambra. I literally bought this as part of the hype, like, you know, everyone, the YouTube girlies were like out here literally hyping this up. And not to say that it's not a nice fragrance, but it's just, I don't know, the peaches just doesn't sit as juicy. Like, I've smelt juicier peaches, do you know what I mean? Like, I've smelt things that are a little bit more like, more fruity than this Bright Peach. So yeah, like, unfortunately, Bright Peach is just no more. The longevity of this fragrance is not really giving me what it is that I want. So yeah, and also the scent in itself just doesn't draw me in like it used to. So yeah, so unfortunately that one's out of the picture. There's not really that much to say about half these fragrances. It's just that, like I said, my taste has changed. Sometimes the projection's not quite, or maybe it just hasn't gelled well with my skin chemistry. Another one that hasn't, actually, you know what? This one is somewhere in the middle, because I do sometimes reach for it when I do want like a nice cherry scent. But in comparison to, I want to say, in comparison to Bright Peach, I'll probably reach for this a little bit more, because it is just a little bit fruitier. And I do love a fruity fragrance here and there, especially in the hotter months. I just feel like the fruitier fragrances just shine. So as much as I'm saying I don't reach out for it that much, which I don't, I still do very much love Lovely Cherry. So this is Lovely Cherry by Maison Alhambra, okay? And I know a lot of you still really love these two fragrances, and no tea, no shade. Not to say that I don't like them, like I said, but it's just not my first like choice when I'm thinking, what do I wear today? Okay, so then we have Louis Cardon Jewel. Now this is a fragrance that was definitely what's the word? Influenced into buying from Instagram, and it is, I like it because it is a lovely like honey fragrance. But I just feel like there's just something off about it. Like, I just can't, I know that I'm gonna regret spraying this, but let me just, yeah. It just smells sour. It just smells sour, and I can't, it's like juicy but sour. It's like floral but like powdery. Like, I can't put my finger on it. And I know that everyone says that it's meant to be like this like juicy something, and then yeah, plum and honey. I can smell the honey, but the honey is not sweet enough for me, let me put it that way. The honey in here is just not sweet enough. The fruit, the plum, is not juicy enough. So it just seems a little lackluster. So yeah, unfortunately, Louis Cardon Jewel, not my favorite. But again, if it's a fragrance that you know and love, please don't be offended, okay? And then last but not least, oh no, it's not last but not least. No. Oh guys, again, you guys might be a bit upset with me, but I've always said this. I'm just gonna tell you the truth, and I'm gonna just tell you exactly how it is that I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? So With that being said, French coffee. French coffee, I know that this was like a favorite. Listen, I searched high and low. I found this fragrance in a random shop in, was it Amsterdam or the Netherlands, that had one more in stock. Like, this fragrance has been out of stock. Like, when I bought this fragrance was out of stock for like the longest time. And I know that since buying this one, they've now got new packaging. There's even got the dust on top. That's how you know that I've just not used it, okay? So this is a French cafe. I need to find the name of it, but yeah, French coffee by Al Rehab. Yes, I remember now, by Al Rehab. And again, I love the bottle. I love how it looks, but when I say that, I just don't really want to smell like a cup of coffee. Like, as much as I love coffee every morning, and believe me, nothing can keep me away, I've gone away from like smelling like food, and this smells too close to actual coffee that it makes me feel like I've literally been sitting in Starbucks all day and some of the coffee beans spilt on my clothes. That's literally how I feel every time I wear this fragrance. And I remember there was the one time I wore it and I just got increasingly more irritated by my own scent, and I don't want to ever feel like that again. So again, I know a lot of people love this fragrance. It is lactonic, it is milky, it's sweet. It's like a sweet coffee. It's a sweet cup of coffee. That's literally what it smells like. Milky, very, very gourmand. If you love a gourmand scent, then, you know, go for it. But I feel like I'm just going away from like the overly realistic gourmand fragrances because I just don't want to smell like food. Yeah, don't want to smell like food. Yeah. And last but not least, and it really is the last and the least because I don't like this fragrance, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, there's no tiptoeing around it. I don't like this fragrance, and I absolutely regret buying it. I know that's a very bold statement, very strong statement, because I've never really been to this side of my fragrance wardrobe, but this fragrance, I regret buying it because I don't know whether it's not meant. Anyway, let me show you the fragrance that I'm talking about, because I don't know, maybe a few of you might understand. This is Oud Al Layal by Arabian, okay? As you can see, we still got a full bottle here, baby. Listen, this thing's been sprayed maybe like 3 times, and I don't know what came over me. I was in the mall. I think, do you know what it is? You know them times where you get caught up in the mall. The sales guy is salesing. He manages to sell you everything in his store, including the worst smelling fragrance. And I'm sorry guys, if you love this one, maybe you should be offended because I absolutely hate this fragrance, okay? I can't stand the smell. It is so strong, so potent, so off-putting. Like, it just doesn't marinate well on my skin. I know that with some people, they absolutely love it. But one thing I will say about it, the longevity, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. As in, you won't stop smelling the hideous scent all day. And I know a couple of you are gonna hate me because you love this fragrance, and I'm really, really sorry for packing your favorite fragrance, but I'm just gonna be honest, this fragrance is not it. I don't like it. I like a strong fragrance, but this kills me every time. Like, every time I smell it, I can't even smell it. I can't even spray it in the air because honestly, it gives me a headache, okay? It's been a long time since I've had such strong opinions about a fragrance. I think it was, I'm not even gonna mention, but I'm sure if you look further back enough, you'll find one review like that I did that really split people in the comments because everyone was like, oh, I love it, it's a masterpiece. And I was like, not quite a masterpiece to me, okay? And this is not one of them either. This is not a masterpiece. Please throw it in the bin and please take this out of production. I'm so sorry. So that being said, guys, really, really positive video here for you today. I hope you've actually enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different. Like, my videos are normally very, very positive. My taste's just changing all the time. These just haven't like come along with me, and that's absolutely fine. It happens to everyone. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.